Well, gone are the days of loading up the kids with pencils and paper for back to school. Now it's about keeping up with the latest tech gadgets. And joining us this morning is online security expert David Papp with some tips on how parents can make sure their kids are keeping up with technology as they head back to class. And David, it's everywhere. I mean, technology, we know every part of our life, but especially at school, it's changing so quick. What are you looking for? What are the things kids should be or could be using as they head back to school?
Well, some of the items would be, smart speakers like the Google Home Mini.
Right.
And the reasoning behind that is actually being able to ask some quick questions. It's kind of like your encyclopedia reference, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The other big thing actually are 2-in-1 laptops. So what that is it's a laptop that has a traditional keyboard and you can flip it up and look at the screen, but you can flip it all the way and lay it down and it's like a tablet and it's touchscreen. And those are extremely common right now, because you have the full power of Microsoft Office and all of those desktop applications, but yet you can use it as a tablet.
Which is probably what they're more used to.
Yeah.
Now, what about going back and forth? I know that's a big deal with the kids because they got to do things at school on their computer or their tablet or whatever device they're using, and then they have to bring it home. So how do they get around that?
Well, it depends on if the school has adopted a BYOD policy yet, which is bring your own device. That's getting quite common, and some of them are not. Some of them are insisting on a particular type of technology, like a Google, like a Chromebook.
Seems to be big, Chrome.
So it really depends on the school's policy when it comes to that. Typically, the school will have an account created for the child, and sometimes it's with the Google Apps suite, which is great. And you can access that information from home, so you can see your documents and stuff like that. Yeah.
So we're not running back and forth with USBs as much anymore, hey?
Not as much, but generally speaking, you still need to have a good USB stick. And it's good that you mentioned that. Not all USB sticks are made equally.
Right. Yeah.
So you want to make sure that if you see that deal at Staples and you're at the front counter and it's only $9, you get what you pay for. So make sure that you do spend a lot more on a faster USB stick. It will make the transfers of large files a lot quicker.
Okay. What about apps? Are there apps out there that kids can take advantage of?
Absolutely. There's things like My Homework, which can help organize you. There's flashcard type apps. There's a neat one called Photomath. You're going to love this.
Photomath?
Yeah, you take a picture of a math equation and it solves it for you.
Wow. Are you kidding?
Yeah, for real. It's amazing what's out there for apps.
What about, are they allowed to, I mean, I guess it's up to the school again, right? They have their own policies on whether or not they're allowed to use calculators or Photomath or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely, but that's why showing your work is becoming that more important.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just give an answer.
You can't just plug it in. And of course, we got to be concerned with security all the time, especially with kids when they head online, right? What do we need to tell them?
Well, it's just, you're not supposed to share your password. Don't write it down, because it sounds harmless, but what if, I mean, some kids play pranks. Like, what if they log in or somebody gets access to your account and deletes all your schoolwork? That would be horrible.
That would be bad, yeah.
You want to make sure that you're really on top of that.
Sounds like we're running into a lot of money here. This technology isn't cheap. Are there ways to, find a deal?
Yes, now is the time, actually.
Oh, really, hey?
So these back-to-school deals, these BTS deals that are being advertised, they're actually really good, and you should be taking advantage of them. I don't think that you're going to find a better deal if you wait, other than Black Friday, just before Christmas.
Yeah, that's always a big
Those are the best ones. But right now, the deals are excellent, and you should be taking advantage of them.
What do kids need? I mean, do you need the laptop? Like you say, that 2-in-1 would be perfect, but can you get by on an iPad now? Does it basically cover what you need?
It depends on what the school policy is. I mean, if you need to have a word processor like Microsoft Word or I mean, those apps do exist on iPad, and you can use them as long as you've also got a keyboard associated.
Right,
I think it's just too slow to be tapping the screen when you're doing an essay or something like that.
Yeah, so much to think about. It's a whole new world out there, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
Now, you can follow David on Twitter, or you can check out his blog if you would like, davidpapp.com, or on Twitter @davidpapp. Always good information. Thanks very much, David.